welcome to the Book Pro episode, which is indeed very unique, very special, as I am standing on the street of Stratford upon Avon, and this house is nonetheless but the birthplace of Shakespeare. Not only the birthplace, but this was the place where he was brought up. He grew with his friends, with his sisters, and later he married, and he was staying with his wife in this peculiar own house. In the later life of his, he was always commuting between London and Stratford upon Avon, but he was always, I think, rooted for this peculiar house, and so this is a special house indeed.
My appetite, don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby, it's just twist your body and mine. My appetite, don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time.
Move with his wife in the adjoining kind of house, a part of the same house, which was little separate. And this was the bedroom where the couple must have slept, and this was the place where Shakespeare initially lived with his wife. So you can have a glimpse at the beautiful Tudor aged decor of this peculiar room. Here's a fireplace, as you can see, and of course and you can see the lovely chandelier and tiger's or wolf skin, I don't know what animal it is. Very, very Tudor. So I must also behave like someone who is a Tudor king. So here I am in the Shakespeare's town, Stratford upon Avon, and I'm right now sitting in the lobby of the hotel where I am residing, and it's hello, morning. And right now I'm sitting in the lobby of the hotel in which I am residing, and it's, you can see the decor is very Tudor aged decor, and my Kindle is with me and making me recall of all the beautiful moments while I was reading Shakespeare for last so many years. The first instance when I came across Shakespeare was quite late, when I think I was around 21 or 22 years old, and I came to know about Shakespeare's Julius Caesar through a speech which was delivered by a great leader and lecturer, professor of English, G.P. Pradhan. And later I was so fascinated by that lecture that I started reading and rereading Shakespeare's plays while taking a pencil in my hand and underlining the statements, because there was no Kindle that time, and besides my graduation was done in the science fraternity. I later chose to do masters in English. So in that in between period I read so many plays of Shakespeare. I am recalling at the moment that even I read a very big play, and it's a very violent play, which probably likes of Anurag Kashyap would love to convert into their violent and gory movies, the name of which was Titus Andronicus. But as we all know that comedies and tragedies and tragicomedies have Shakespeare have enriched our lives. So walking on the streets of Stratford upon Avon, these must be the roads where Shakespeare must have played with his childhood friends, must have walked with his wife, must have taken a stroll with his kids and his family. It's a beautiful town.
You got me, babe, I'm yours to have. Don't hurt me, my heart's in your hands. You got me, babe, I'm yours to have. Don't hurt me, baby. You got me, babe, I'm yours to have. Don't hurt me, my heart's in your hands. You got me, babe, I'm yours to have. Don't hurt me, baby. Yes, yes, I'm an emotional mess. Yes, but you wouldn't want me less. Yes, I'm an emotional mess. Yes, 'cause you know how wild it could get. Yes, to love an emotional mess. Yes, you wouldn't want me less. Yes, 'cause you know how wild it could get. To love an emotional mess.
So when I think of Shakespeare's life journey, the thing that always strikes me first is how his life was shaped by his parents' life. His father was quite a big B in a sense that he was a big trader and he was a big businessman, and he assumed the post of something which was similar to, say, city mayor these days in this peculiar town of Stratford upon Avon. So Shakespeare was considered to be from a high class family. Unfortunately, because of the illegal woolen trading and some money laundering, there was a heavy fine which was there was a heavy fine for Shakespeare's father, and then economically they weren't so well as they should have been. But then Shakespeare had this amazing capacity and beautiful tenacity to draw something out of all these experiences and convert into probably a political drama like Julius Caesar, where he talks of ambition, where he talks of power. And in his own life, he married at the age of 18, which was considered a little early even at that era. And he had three children. First was daughter, and then they were twins. Unfortunately, one out of the twin, his name was Winton, he passed away at a very early age of 11. I always wonder what's this connection with the loss of the child and the great man. Rabindranath Tagore bore the same loss, and Shakespeare also must have been in a heavy grief because of the loss of his dear son. But there is no direct connection in any of his plays where, at least as far as I recall, where he writes about the loss of the child, because that's I think the power of Shakespeare, because he translated his own personal peculiar sorrows into the universal themes. So that's a sign of a very great author, which he indeed was, of course, and a great bard, as we all know. And later he shifted his life to the London, because that's where the action was going on, that's where the Queen was located, that's where the plays were happening at the Globe and other theatres, and he became quite a celebrity. And of course then he regained his position in the society with in terms of monetary gains as well. He bought a new property here which is called as Shakespeare's New Place, and the very fact that he again bought a new property here and of course inherited this one shows clearly that he was very deeply rooted with this soil, because otherwise he would have just moved to London and never came back. It never happened. Just next to the Shakespeare's birthplace, here is a very good statue of Zester, Touchstone. Touchstone is a character from the play As You Like It, and as we all know that Shakespeare was fond of putting the character of a fool in the whole play, or a kind of comedian, a kind of jester. The thing is, like, because he knew that there was hardly any difference probably between the so-called wise and the so-called fool, and both were interchangeable entities. So as we all see the statue of the jester, that stone from As You Like It, it's a beautiful sculpture with the balance on only one leg, as you can see, and also on the tip of the finger, as I just noted. And if you see the great statement by the bard, "O noble fool, a worthy fool," from As You Like It, and also this one, "The fool do think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool." What a statement. My courtesy, bid me farewell.